with solar panels that they may soon be charged for exporting power to the grid. Now news that hundreds of thousands of Aussies have been left with solar systems that don't even work properly. Queensland summers are seriously hot, and for Brisbane couple Matt and Jen Taylor, aircon is the only way to get through them.
We were getting power bills around the $900 mark per quarter because we're running ducted air conditioning, we're running a swimming pool filter.
In 2015, Matt was watching the cricket when he saw an ad for True Value Solar.
It's going to clear the rope easily. And a magnificent catch.
At the time, True Value was one of Australia's biggest solar system installers.
They seemed quite professional, gave us a quote, and we decided to go ahead.
Matt and Jen had 20 solar panels installed. At nearly $7,000, it was a big outlay, even with the help of a $2,700 government grant. But it did the trick. Their power bills dropped right away.
Oh, it put the power bills right down to $200-300 a quarter. It was very noticeable. It was fantastic.
Yeah,
we were overjoyed.
We thought, well, these panels will pay for themselves fairly quickly in a couple of years, and that we've done exactly the right thing.
But within 2 years, bill shock returned.
As time went on, the bills started to creep up and creep up. So we employed an electrician, and he said that none of the panels are working anymore.
When True Value Solar installed the system, Matt and Jen were told it was top of the line. But in reality, the panels were cheap and nasty.
I then rang True Value Solar, and to my surprise, found out that they'd actually gone out of business. So I really didn't have a leg to stand on after that.
Home solar has boomed in Australia. We've had more than 2.6 million systems installed. That's the world's highest uptake of rooftop solar panels. But between 2011 and 2020, over 750 solar firms went bust.
That's left now well over 800,000 Australian solar owners with worthless, failed solar. And these are people that have invested in solar in good faith.
Those hundreds of thousands of Aussies have been dubbed the solar orphans. And the problem inspired Bernie Kelly to set up his own company to try and clean up the industry.
There's 7,000 accredited as installers in Australia, and we've only approved 250. And the hurdle to become an approved vendor on our platform is challenging.
In 2010, Helen Wilkinson from Adelaide jumped at the chance to cut her power bills and her carbon footprint. She installed home solar through a company named New Energy.
They did seem legitimate, and that was the reason that we went with them. They seemed to know what they were talking about.
At the time, a government rebate covered most of the cost, but it still set Helen back around $2,000. She was told the savings on her energy bill would cover that quickly.
We had a reduction of about $40, and then the second quarter came through with a reduction of approximately $16. And then by the third quarter, there was nothing, and we just thought in actual fact that it wasn't working very well because it was the winter. But then we went on to find out after that it was incorrectly wired.
She tried to contact New Energy, but the company had gone bust.
Not only was it not working, but even though it was officially under guarantee, it wasn't worth the paper it had been written on because the company no longer existed. They'd folded. Couldn't find them at all.
It's time that the government actually steps in and says we need to have a look at further regulation of the market.
We asked the Australian Competition and Consumer Commission what's being done to protect solar customers.
Consumers should obtain multiple quotes from different solar retailers, be wary of unsolicited approaches from solar companies, and only enter into a contract when you have undertaken all necessary research.
In the meantime, those hundreds of thousands of Aussies are still wearing the cost.
We had electricians that wouldn't touch it, and so we had that removed, and then we waited for a few years, and then we installed a new system.
But Matt, who lost his job last year in the pandemic recession, will just have to wait.
What am I going to do? Am I going to pay somebody to come and pull it all apart and take it away? I mean, I may as well just leave them there. We've just been stuck with 20 panels on our roof that are no longer working.
Given the solar panels are all about environmentally friendly energy, it only makes that story more tragic.
True.